Sai Ram. Sripada Srivallabha Charithamrutham, Chapter 17, Part 2. Digambara, Digambara, Sripada Vallabha Digambara. Digambara, Digambara, Sripada Vallabha Digambara. Om Gurudeva Datta. Sri Datta in the guise of an untouchable blessing, Namananda. We understood that Sri Namananda knew all the three times, that is past, present and future. He cordially invited us. Namananda said like this: "The name of my father is Mayanacharyulu. My name is Sayanacharyulu. We belong to the Bharadwaja lineage. We were Sri Vaishnavas. After entering the ascetic order, I am now called Namananda. Before entering the ascetic order, I visited all the holy places and the Siddha Kshetras in the north with extreme detachment. In my quest for a satguru who can uplift me, I came to Pitikapuram on my way. As we were Sri Vaishnavites, the worship of Shiva was not acceptable to us. We strictly observed purity and religious customs. After visiting Kunti Madhava Swami, I came across a pariyaha while I was coming out of the temple. The sight of the pariyaha was unbearable. According to that, he came close to me and thundered. Namananda gave me Guru Dakshina and then moved from there. I was flabbergasted. All the people at the center of the town were seeing this strange thing. People thought it was one of the abnormalities of Kali Yuga, that an untouchable was loudly demanding Guru Dakshina from an orthodox Sri Vaishnava Brahmin. Some others thought that the untouchable who consumed liquor was intimidating the noble Vaishnava. I said, "I do not know you. Even so, I am a Vaishnava Brahmin and you are a Chandala. My name is also not Namananda. It is not proper that you should forcibly demand Guru Dakshina from me." I could not speak more than that. His eyes were red like burning charcoal. His facial expression struck terror in everyone there. He did not yield to my pacifying words and asserted sternly, "You are speaking lies, saying that you do not know me. You are roaming like a mad dog, questioning all sorts of sundry people where a Sadguru who could uplift you would be available. Being egoistic that you had a Brahmin birth, you failed to see the truth. I am your Sadguru. I am conferring the name Namananda to you in the ascetic order. Give all the money with you to me as Guru Dakshina and prostrate before me in the presence of all the people and accept me as your Guru. If you do, it is all right. If not, I'll cut your body into pieces with this knife and will keep your flesh in heaps. I will drink your blood and I will hit your head repeatedly with a hammer and turn it into a pulp. I will arrest your life from departing your body. I will allow the life consciousness to stay in the severe part of the body so that you will experience excruciating hellish agony. Business with me will be very specific. Say yes or no, only 2 words. Even if you pray, not even one among the 30 million deities would dare to save you." After uttering these strong words, the pariah drew out the sword from the scabbard and was about to kill me. Under these unavoidable circumstances, I prostrated to the untouchable. I offered all the money to him as Guru Dakshina. To me, all descriptions about God appeared as fiction. However, upsetting all my thoughts, a charming, bewitching, auspicious figure appeared before me. That divine auspicious figure averred, "I am Sri Datta. Presently I incarnated as Sripada Srivallabha in Pitikapuram. You are mine, I am yours. I am your property, you are my property. That which brought us together is Satchidananda. You will be called Namananda from today on and will teach Dharma and will get eternal peace. You will reach me after your exit from this world. Sripada gives food to Namananda with his own hands. Sir, I became an ascetic named Namananda in this way. I wanted to have the darshan of Sripada in Pitikapuram. I was very hungry. No one was giving me food in any house. People were asking strange remarks that I was mad and that a tipsy, drunken, untouchable collected Guru Dakshina from me. They also decided that it was contrary to the Dharma Shastra to give alms to me as I turned into an untouchable because I accepted a Pariyaha as my preceptor even though I was a Brahmin. The Brahmins of Pitikapuram, having resolved like that, did not offer Bhiksha to me. I moved to the house of Appalaraj Sarma without any intentional effort. I was so weak that I could not open my mouth even to cry, Bhavati Bhikshan Dehi. In meanwhile, Sripada opened the door and came out with a plate of food. He made me sit on the veranda of their house and fed me the food with his ambrosial hands. He cleansed my mouth and hands with his own hands. He placed his bountiful hand of infinite strength on my head and assured, everything will be arranged for you. There is no need to worry about anything. Can't the Lord who provides food to a frog in the rock nourish you? I will be behind you wherever you are. I will move with you unseen. I will protect you like an eyelid protects the eye. He bid me farewell with those reassuring words. From that day, I became an ascetic and wandered freely. His invisible divine hand is protecting me always. Namananda thus concludes. 4 types of Jivan Muktas. I question, Sir, I heard that liberation can be quickly achieved if we worship Sri Datta. Will there be any special procedure of adoration for that? Are we to meditate upon any separate type of mantras? Kindly clear my doubts and help me. For that, Sri Namananda replied with a placid countenance, My child, the destruction of illusion is liberation. There is no rule that liberation comes only after death. The body could be experiencing consequences of past actions. Notwithstanding that, the Jivatma could stay in a liberated state. Such people can be called Jivan Muktas. Salokya Mukti is to live in the world of one's favorite Deva. Those who earn more merits will have the fortune of living in close proximity to their favorite Deva. This is called Samipya Mukti. Those who have much more merits will assume the form of the Deva they adore. This is called Sarupya Mukti. In much more significant state, the aspirant merges in the consciousness of his favorite Deva. This is called Sayujya. Devotees of Datta who achieve a particular spiritual state can experience Salokya Mukti even while living in this world. The body will undergo the results of past karma. However, their mind will be concentrated on the lotus feet of Sri Datta. They observe with their inner vision the principles of creation, the niceties of dharma, and the strange and wonderful procedures conducted by creation and enjoy ineffable bliss. All the divine powers of selfless Yogishwaras are utilized for the welfare of the universe without their involvement. There are some people who attain Samipya Mukti while living in this mundane world. They will know the divine Leelas of Lord Datta through their inner vision more analytically than Salokya Mukti devotees. The happiness they derive would be much more. Kindly explain this matter more clearly for my understanding. For that, Sri Namananda was pleased and said, Once a girl was married and she reached her husband's house. Once her brother went to see her. The mother-in-law of his sister said to him, Your sister is doing many thefts in our house. She is consuming large quantities of milk, curd, buttermilk and ghee. If it was one theft, I would have overlooked it. Oh, so many thefts! The mother-in-law made a wailing complaint. Then the brother called his sister and advised him, "Stop stealing so many things from today on. All these things that you are taking are available as integral constituents of undiluted milk. Therefore, you take undiluted milk in the required quantity. The strengths of milk, curd, butter, milk and ghee are in the undiluted milk. By consuming that single item, you can avoid the censure of your mother-in-law. In the same fashion, if you worship Sri Datta, everything will accrue. As people are of different tastes, they worship various devas. If Shiva is worshipped, Vishnu will not appear. If Vishnu is worshipped, Shiva will not appear. The grace of the two may be identical. The protection for the devotees will also be similar. The results from the activities of devotion associated with attributes and forms must be in consonance with those activities. Is it not? When the mass of sins committed in many births decrease, and when the fruits of merits accumulated remarkably, devotion toward Sri Datta dawns. Therefore, there is nothing impossible to the devotees of Datta. None of the devotees have the power to alter the Creator's writing on the forehead. However, Sri Datta, responding to the suffering of a devotee, may order the Creator to erase the writing on the forehead of his devotee and inscribe a new writing of destiny. Vishnu is the cause for the physical, mental and spiritual states of the living beings. He is the Sthitikarta. If suddenly the strong power of yoga manifests in Jiva who is not ripe enough, his body or mind or intellect cannot withstand that force and will experience a feeling of being burnt alive in raging flames. Therefore, Vishnu helps the Jiva to carry on the life's journey in a proper way and keeps him in suitable states according to his karma. There is no difference between Sri Krishna and Lord Datta. Sri Krishna lifted the Govardhana mountain. This is known to all common people. Nevertheless, in their previous lives, Gopas and Gopis were great hermits. The mountains are yoga grandhis. When the grandhis explode, a fierce yogic power starts dancing. Then points of yoga anatomy located in the chakras, which affect the movement of prana and kundalini through the spinal column, Jivatma will experience utmost lightness and ease. From this subtle state, great yogic happiness can be derived. One has to take many births to obtain this subtle state. Sri Krishna carried the burden of his dependents and liberated them to be Jivan Muktas by destroying their grandhis. This is a spiritual secret. Those who look at this with physical vision will only understand that he has lifted Govardhanagiri and saved his people. Therefore, if Sri Datta desires to change the different states of his devotees, he may instruct Vishnu to spread up the progress of evolution, which would otherwise move at normal pace. In this process, he will make the devotee to experience all the troubles that are due to be experienced in a state of unawareness. As an alternative, Sri Datta shoulders those burdens and responsibilities himself. What a great, compassionate one! The main aim of the incarnation of Sripada Srivallabha is to prepare over 1,25,000 yogis who experience a state of Sanyujya with him. If he wants to liquidate the vibrations of all bonds of karma, the aspect of Rudra in Sri Datta would flourish extraordinarily. It destroys all bonds of karma, whether they belong to countless millions of past births or whether they relate to future times, and he will grant redemption to the Jiva. The aspect of Brahma, Vishnu or Rudra would become explicit and protect his devotees. Appropriate. All this depends on his resolve. We must follow the path of devotion to generate such a will. Once in Pitikapuram, when a devotee of Sripada got up on a horse, it threw him down, crushed and injured him. Sripada showed his hand of assurance towards him, and all those injuries disappeared in a moment. For another, who had no faith whatsoever in Sripada, a vessel with 100 Varshas was available. Pandya Venkatappaya Sreshti asked Sripada to explain this inconsistency. Then Sripada explained, "Today is the day of death of my devotee, but I extended his lifespan by another 20 years, made his decision as a reward for his single-minded devotion. Today is the day of getting plenty of wealth for that person who got 100 coins, but because he does not have even an iota of devotion and he derides devotees, I contracted his grateful fortune of wealthy merely to 100 coins. I am the servant of servants of my devotees. He is the real emperor who can imprison me in his heart. Even Parameshwara, who is the ruler of the three worlds, will serve such one as a servant. He elucidated the good things and messages." When Sri Namananda said like this, we all felt elated. The Brahmin brothers requested Namananda to prescribe penitence for their sinful acts. Then Sri Namananda said, "You observe Mandala Diksha by taking one meal a day. Earn money by undertaking arduous physical labor. Offer food to virtuous Brahmins by spending that money. Then your sin will abate. You will get the vision of Sripada either physically or in a dream as a sign of abatement of the sin. You must remain righteous even after the Mandala Diksha. If you become slaves to your previous habits by accident, you are sure to get enhanced punishment from Sripada." Worship of Anagha Sameta Dattatreya. Dattatreya with Anagha Devi is very sacred. The Brahmin lady named Susila requested Sri Namananda to tell her about a way to ward off her difficulties. Then Sri Namananda, who was pleased, averred, "The soul is eternal. The mind dies countless times in a second and takes rebirth during the sexual intercourse of a couple. If either of them or both of them experience that their mental consciousness was interrupted between life and non-life, the child that is to be born will become an eunuch. A person who destroys happy married lives becomes impotent owing to that great sin. The life as a eunuch will be like a hell. Some of the causes of impotence or for becoming a wife to a eunuch are as follows: separating a loving couple, harassing a daughter-in-law in many ways by exhibiting the insolence of a shrew, murdering mercilessly infants and women, treating helpless destitutes with cruelty. A man has a right to beget 10 children from a woman. It is contrary to dharma to beget more than 10 children from that woman. After the birth of 10 children, the woman has to be treated like a mother. To remove the impotence and to regain the masculinity of your husband and to enjoy all comforts from a favorable married life, you can perform Anagha Vrata and make Sri Dattatreya with Anagha Devi delighted. Sri Datta will definitely bless you. For those who adore Sripada, happiness of his terrestrial world and the ethereal world would be shower abundant. Sri Bapanarya had a vision of his grandson verily as Sri Dattatreya and recited the Siddhamangala Stotra. The words uttered from an exalted state of experience from the vision of Sri Datta are very powerful. In every word that was expressed, life consciousness will prevail many more in eons. Mistakes of grammar are not to be searched in such expression. There are no restrictions and regulations to read this Siddhamangala Stotra. I was fortunate enough to hear the sacred Stotra from the mouth of Sri Bapanarya. That stotra is still vibrating in my mind. Listen to Siddhamangala Stotram. Srimatananda Shri Vibhushita Appala Lakshmi Narasimha Raja Jai Vijayi Bhava Digvijayi Bhava Srimad Kanda Shri Vijayi Bhava Shri Vidyadari Radha Sudekha Shri Rakhidar Shri Pada Jai Vijayi Bhava Digvijayi Bhava Srimad Khanda Shri Vijayi Bhava Mata Sumati Vatsalyamrita Pariposhita Jaya Shri Pada Jai Vijayi Bhava Digvijayi Bhava Srimad Khanda Shri Vijayi Bhava सत्यऋषीश्वर दुहितानंदन बापनार्यनुत श्रीचरणा श्रीविजयी भव दिग्विजयी भव श्रीमदखंदा श्रीविजयी भव सवित्रकाटकचनय पुण्यफल भारद्वाज ऋषिगोत्र संभवा जय विजयी भव दिग्विजयी भव श्रीमदखंड श्रीविजयी भव दो चौपादे देवलक्ष्मी घन संख्यबोधित श्रीचरणा जय विजयी भव दिग्विजयी भव श्रीमदखंदा श्रीविजयी भव पुण्यरूपिणी राजमाम्बसुत गर्भ पुण्यफल संजाता श्रीविजयी भव दिग्विजयी भव श्रीमदखंडा श्रीविजयी भव सुमति नंदन नरहरि नंदन दत्त देव प्रभु श्रीपादा जय विजयी भव दिग्विजयी भव श्रीमदखंदा श्रीविजयी भव पीतिकापुर नित्य विहारा मधुमति दत्ता मंगलरूपा जय विजयी भव दिग्विजयी श्रीमदखंडा श्रीविजयी भव. Short meaning of the above hymn. Victory, victory, universal victory, supreme abounding victory to eternally auspicious, richly decorated Appala Lakshmi Narasimha Raja. 2. Victory, greater victory, universal victory, superb imperishable victory to Sripada, wearing the Sri Rakhi from Sri Vidyadhari, Radha and Surekha. 3rd. Victory, grand victory, total victory in all directions, splendid indivisible victory to Sripada, nourished with the nectar of affection by Mother Sumati. 4th. Victory, magnificent victory, victory all around the directions, uninterrupted, victory to Sri Charana, the son of the daughter of the great Satyarushi, Bapanarya, extolled by him. 5. Victory, glorious victory, universal conquest, unfragmented victory to the sacred fruit of Savitra Kataka sacrifice, hailing from the lineage of sage Bharadwaja. 6. Victory, victory, universal victory, supreme abounding victory to Sri Charana, explaining the great number of Do Chaupadi Devalakshmi. 7. Victory, greater victory, universal victory, superb imperishable victory to the one born out of great fruit of Punya to the daughter of pious personage Rajamamba. 8. Victory, grand victory, total victory on the directions, splendid indivisible victory to the son of Sumati and Narahari, Lord Datta Deva Sripada. 9. Victory, magnificent victory, all around victory, unbroken victory to the one rambling always in Pitikapura, Madhumati Datta, Mangalarupa, may victory shower on Sripada. Sri Namananda explained these ambrosial words to the Brahmin lady named Susila. My dear ones, if this very sacred Siddhamangala Stotra is recited, a consequent result on par with performing Anaga Ashtami Vrata and offering food afterwards to 1000 pious Brahmins will be derived, a result equivalent to the one derived by observing Mandala Diksha, taking food once a day and arranging a feast with the money earned through hard physical labor to 1000 pious Brahmins will be obtained. This stotra will be read by worthy people. By reading the Siddha Purushas will be seen and their touch can also be experienced. All desires of the mind will be fulfilled. Devotees who worship Datta with pure mind, speech and action will be blessed by the grace of Sripada as soon as they recite this stotra. Siddhas in the ethereal region would move about incognito wherever this stotra is recited. Removal of impotence by grace of Sripada. As soon as I heard the nectareous words from the mouth of Sri Namananda, a thought cropped up in me. I said, Great One, we want to spend this night in these holy premises of the hermitage, reciting this divine stotra and in talks about the stories of divine sports and pastimes of Sripada. I submit to your noble kind self To permit us, Susila and the Brahmin brothers who were with me agreed to my suggestion. The kind-hearted Sri Namananda agreed upon this. All night was spent singing the name of Sripada with discourses about his stories of sportive plays and recitation of Siddha Mangala Stotra. At dawn, the divine Sri glorious Mangala Harati was offered to Sripada. After the Maha Mangala Harati, a cartman came to our hermitage with a double bullock cart loaded with food materials. The cartman told Susila that her in-laws and her husband would reach the hermitage shortly in another cart. He unloaded the food materials and left. Sri Namananda was in meditation when the cartman came and left. Sri Namananda, after returning to normalcy from meditation, questioned agitatedly, "Where is the cartman?" When he was told that the cartman already left, he remarked, "Oh, what great fortunate people you are! I am the only unfortunate one." All of us were amazed at this lamentation. Sri Namananda said, "Sripada is a very compassionate one. He alone came in the guise of a cartman and gave you darshan. Mother Susila, you are extremely fortunate. The impotence of your husband is removed. Not only that, your husband and in-laws are arriving here very soon in a bullock cart." It all happened exactly as Sri Namananda, who knows about past, present and future, predicted. Susila left with her husband and father and mother-in-law to their house. I sought the permission of Sri Namananda to travel towards Kuranagadda with the two Brahmin brothers. With his blessings, we proceeded towards Kuranagadda.